The lecture hall of the Intergalactic Academy was unusually quiet. Not because the cadets were disciplined, but because they were confused. "Repeat that last part," one of the Varelian cadets said slowly, his bioluminescent skin flickering in disbelief. The instructor didn't hesitate. "Humans require a biological process called sleep. During this state, they lose consciousness for approximately one-third of their lifespan." Silence. Then, "They what?" A dozen heads turned at once. Across the room, a towering insectoid cadet raised one of his limbs. "You are saying," he clicked carefully, "that humans voluntarily enter a state of total vulnerability every cycle?" "Yes." "No defensive reflexes?" "Minimal." "No environmental awareness?" "Negligible." "No tactical processing?" The instructor paused. "Not in the conventional sense." That was enough. The room erupted. "That is not a survival trait. That is a design flaw. No sentient species could evolve like that. They would be eliminated immediately." One cadet leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "Unless they don't actually survive." That earned a few thoughtful nods. At the back of the room, someone snorted. All eyes turned. The only human in the class sat slouched in his chair, one hand propping up his head. Cadet Alex Carter. He looked tired. Actually, more than tired. Exhausted. Dark circles under his eyes. Messy hair. Uniform slightly wrinkled. He raised a hand lazily. We survived just fine." The insectoid cadet turned toward him slowly. "How?" Alex blinked. "Dunno, we wake up, I guess." "That is not an explanation." "That's kind of the whole feature." A ripple of confused murmurs spread across the room. One of the reptilian cadets leaned closer, studying him. "You appear impaired." "Thanks." "You admit it?" "I mean, yeah, I got like 4 hours of sleep." The room froze again. "4?" someone whispered. "That is insufficient for neural recovery," another said immediately. "Cognitive function should be degraded by at least 40%, added a third. The insectoid cadet straightened. "Then you are currently operating at a severe disadvantage." Alex thought about that, then shrugged. We'll see." That answer did not inspire confidence. In fact, it confirmed their suspicions. Humans weren't just vulnerable, they were reckless. The academy alarm went off 3 hours later. A sharp, piercing tone ripped through the sleeping quarters. "Night drill. Emergency response simulation. All cadets report immediately." Across the dormitories, cadets jolted awake. Alert, focused, ready. This was their advantage. Their species never truly shut down. Even at rest, their minds remained partially active, always aware, always prepared. Within seconds, they were moving, gear on, systems online, fully functional, perfect. They would dominate this exercise. In the human quarters, something fell off a bed. A muffled voice followed. "What time is it?" A pause. "Oh, come on." Cadet Alex Carter sat up slowly, staring at nothing for a few seconds like his soul hadn't fully reconnected yet. He squinted at the flashing alarm lights. Right, emergency drill. He rubbed his face. Hard. Okay, we're alive. That's a good start." He stood up, immediately regretted it. Wow, gravity is aggressive today. Somewhere in the corridor, cadets were already sprinting. Efficient, precise, fully awake. Alex stumbled toward his locker, missed the handle the first time. Nailed it. Opened it on the second try. Progress. He threw on his gear with the speed of someone who had absolutely no idea what he was doing, but had done it enough times for muscle memory to take over. Boot. Jacket. Device. Pause. Did I forget something? Beat. Nah, future me will figure it out. By the time he reached the simulation chamber, every other cadet was already there, standing straight, eyes sharp, perfect posture, perfect readiness. And in the middle of them, Alex. Hair worse, uniform slightly crooked, expression somewhere between awake and legally questionable. The insectoid cadet looked at him, long, hard. You were late. Alex glanced around. Technically, I'm last. That's different. That is not different. Feels different. Several cadets exchanged looks. This was the creature that slept. This was the species that shut itself off. And this was their representative. The instructor stepped forward. Simulation parameters loaded. Tactical response, multivariable threat environment. A pause. Begin. The simulation chamber exploded into motion. The moment the instructor gave the signal, every cadet moved with precision. Perfect formations, optimal positioning, calculated decisions. This was their domain. Their minds were clear, fully rested, fully active, no hesitation, no delay. Alex Carter walked directly into a wall. Okay. He rubbed his forehead. New plan, eyes open. Somewhere behind him, a Varelian cadet muttered, "This is the dominant species representative?" The simulation environment stabilized. A ruined outpost, low visibility, multiple heat signatures, unknown enemy behavior. A tactical nightmare. Exactly the kind of scenario the Academy loved. Squad leaders coordinate, the instructor's voice echoed. Instantly, alien cadets began issuing commands. Flank left. Establish overwatch. Scan for movement. Everything was fast, efficient, correct. Alex yawned, actually yawned, in the middle of a combat simulation. He blinked slowly, eyes unfocused for a second. Then something changed. Not visibly, not dramatically, but subtly. His posture shifted, his gaze sharpened, like a system quietly finishing its startup. Multiple hostiles approaching from Sector 3, one cadet reported. Engage. They did. Clean, precise, and completely wrong. The first squad was eliminated in under 6 seconds. No warning, no visible enemy. Just gone. What? That was statistically impossible. They reacted too fast. Confusion rippled through the chamber. Sensors recalibrated, strategies adjusted. Faster, better, smarter. Alex scratched his head. Huh. He stepped forward slightly, squinting at the terrain. Wait. No one listened. They were too busy optimizing, recalculating, overthinking, second engagement, different approach, different angles, same result. Total wipe. Their response time exceeds predictions. Adaptive strategy detected. This is not standard AI behavior. Alex raised a hand. Hey, not now, human. Yeah, cool, just quick thing. We are recalculating. Right, but no interruptions. Alex paused, looked at the battlefield, looked at the cadets, then shrugged. Okay. Third attempt. Full coordination. Perfect execution. Alex stepped forward, alone. Human, fall back, someone snapped. You are out of position. Yeah, I noticed, Alex said casually. He tilted his head slightly. Watching, not scanning, not calculating, just watching. They're not reacting to you, he said. No one answered. They're reacting to where you will be. That got attention. What? Alex pointed lazily toward a collapsed structure. They're predicting your moves. You guys are too clean. That is optimal behavior. Yeah, that's the problem. A pause. Tiny, but critical. How would you know? The insectoid cadet demanded. Alex blinked. I dreamed it. Silence. You what? Alex exhaled, running a hand through his hair. Same setup. Tight corridors, limited visibility, smart opponent. He gestured vaguely. My brain ran like, I don't know, 20 versions of this while I was asleep. No one spoke. That is not possible. Alex shrugged, worked out a few patterns. He pointed again. Don't move in lines, break rhythm, be unpredictable. A beat. And stop thinking so hard. You're basically announcing your moves. That is illogical. Cool, try it anyway. They hesitated. For the first time since the simulation began, alien cadets hesitated. Do it, the instructor said calmly. Fourth attempt. This time, they moved wrong, messy, unpredictable, irrational. The enemy hesitated, just for a fraction of a second. Alex grinned. There it is. Contact, chaos, but not defeat. For the first time, they survived. The chamber fell silent as the simulation paused. Not victory, but not failure. All eyes turned slowly toward Alex. The same human, same messy hair, same tired face. You processed this scenario while unconscious? Someone asked quietly. Alex thought about it. Yeah, pretty much. The insectoid cadet stared at him, long, unblinking. You are telling us that while you are at your most vulnerable? Alex yawned again. Yeah? You are training. Alex smiled slightly. Guess you could say that. The simulation did not end. It evolved. Phase 2 initiated, the instructor announced. The environment shifted instantly. The ruined outpost collapsed into darkness. Emergency lighting flickered on. Narrow corridors, multiple levels, signal interference. And then, new objective, survive. Unknown entities released, the system added. That was new. Defensive formation, one cadet snapped immediately. They regrouped fast, faster than before, but something had changed. They weren't confident anymore. Movement detected. Where? Everywhere. The first attack didn't come from the front. It came from above. A blur dropped into their formation. Too fast, too precise. One cadet was gone before anyone reacted. Upper levels, watch! Too late. Second casualty. Panic. Not full panic, but close enough. They are adapting faster than we can process. Maintain formation. Formation is failing. In the middle of the chaos, Alex was leaning against a wall, watching, quiet, still. Are you not going to assist? The insectoid cadet snapped. Alex didn't answer immediately. He was staring into the shadows, eyes unfocused, but not confused. They're hurting you, he said. What? They're not attacking randomly. He pushed himself off the wall slowly, like his body was catching up with his brain. They hit the edges, push you inward, force you into tight space. A pause. He looked at the ceiling. Then drop in where you can't move. Right on cue, another shape shifted above them. Ceiling, Alex said calmly. This time, they reacted. Fast enough. The creature hit resistance. Didn't get a clean kill, it retreated. Silence. Heavy. Uneasy. You predicted that, one cadet said. Not a question. A realization. Alex shrugged. Yeah. How? He hesitated this time, just for a second. Bad dreams, he said. That answer landed differently. Explain. Alex rubbed the back of his neck. Ever wake up feeling like you've already been somewhere? No one answered. Of course they didn't. He gestured vaguely at the environment. This? Tight space. Can't see everything. Something hunting you? A small smile. Yeah, brain loves that stuff. You are suggesting your subconscious simulates threats during sleep. Pretty much. You gain tactical insight while unconscious. Yeah. Silence again. But now, it wasn't confusion, it was calculation. Another movement in the dark, closer this time, smarter. They're changing routes, a cadet whispered. Alex tilted his head. Listening, not to sound, to pattern. 3 of them, he said. Left corridor. 1 slow, 2 fast. That is impossible. Sensors show? The attack came. Exactly like he said. This time, they were ready. Clean defense, minimal losses. The creatures retreated again. No one spoke. They were starting to understand something uncomfortable. The human wasn't reacting faster, he was reacting earlier. "You are still impaired," the insectoid cadet said slowly. Alex blinked. "Yeah? You are operating on insufficient rest." "Yep. And yet, your predictions are increasing in accuracy." Alex thought about that. "I guess my brain finished warming up." That was the moment it clicked. "You were not fully operational at the start of the simulation," the cadet said. "Not really." "And now—" Alex stretched slightly, cracked his neck, looked around, eyes clear, focused, awake. "Yeah, now I'm good." The lights flickered again. Final phase incoming. This time, no one looked at the instructor. No one checked their sensors. They looked at Alex, not with confusion, with expectation. The lights went out, not dimmed, not flickered. Gone. Total darkness swallowed the simulation chamber. For most species, that wasn't a problem. Their vision adapted instantly. Infrared, echolocation, bioelectric sensing. They saw. They always saw. But this time, it didn't help. Signal interference at maximum. Thermal readings unstable. They are masking themselves. For the first time, their advantages failed. Movement, everywhere, nowhere. They're inside the formation. Too late. Another cadet disappeared into the dark. No sound, no trace. "We are losing cohesion." "Fall back." "Where?" Panic. Real panic this time. And in the center of it, a human voice. Calm, annoyingly calm. "Hey," no one answered. "Hey, chill. This is not a situation that requires—" Yeah, you're all gonna die, I get it." That shut them up. A pause. "What?" someone whispered. Alex stepped forward, slow, unhurried, like he had all the time in the universe. "Stop relying on your sensors," he said. "That is illogical." "Cool, still do it. They are our primary, and they're useless right now." Silence. Another movement. Closer. Alex tilted his head slightly, listening, feeling. 3 seconds, he said. "What?" 3 seconds before they hit again. "Based on what data?" Alex smiled faintly. "Pattern." They hesitated. Then, "Do it," the insectoid cadet said. Everything changed. They stopped scanning, stopped calculating, stopped trying to be perfect. They waited 1 second, 2, and 3. Now. The attack came. Exactly on cue. This time, they struck first. The creature didn't vanish. Didn't adapt in time. It fell. Silence. Heavy breathing. "Again," Alex said quietly, and just like that. He wasn't the tired human anymore. He was leading. "Left side, don't bunch up. Break spacing, make them guess. Wait for it. Wait, now." Each command, simple, messy, not optimal, perfect. They moved as he said. Not as trained, not as calculated, as guided. And it worked, every time. The creatures adapted, but slower now. Too slow. "They cannot predict us anymore," one cadet realized. "No," the insectoid said quietly. Eyes locked on Alex. "They cannot predict him." Another wave came, faster, more aggressive. Alex didn't flinch. "Last push," he said. "You are certain?" someone asked. Alex cracked a small grin. "Yeah." A pause. "I've seen this one." They didn't question it, didn't argue, didn't calculate. They followed, straight into the dark. Chaos exploded around them. Unpredictable movement, broken patterns, instinct over logic. And in the center, A human. Who had already been here? The final creature lunged. Perfect angle, perfect timing. Alex moved before it did. One step, one turn, one strike. Done. Silence. The lights came back. Simulation complete. No one moved, no one spoke. They just stood there, looking at him, the same human. Same face, same slightly messy uniform, but now, something was different. You were asleep, one cadet said quietly. Alex stretched a little. Yeah. And now you are leading us through scenarios we cannot even process. He shrugged. Guess I had a head start. No one laughed, because now they understood. The simulation chamber doors opened slowly. No one rushed out. No one spoke. That alone was unusual. Cadets were trained to analyze immediately, to review, to optimize. But now, they just stood there, thinking. The instructor stepped forward, hands behind his back. Simulation complete. A pause. Performance. Irregular. That was one way to say it. Several cadets exchanged glances. Then, almost in unison, they looked at Alex. He was leaning slightly to the side now. The adrenaline was gone. Okay, yeah, I'm crashing, he muttered. You are losing function? One cadet asked. Yep. Because of sleep deprivation? Alex gave a tired half smile. Yeah, that part's real. A few cadets stiffened. So there is a weakness, one of them said quietly. The instructor turned toward them. Yes, he said calmly. Humans are vulnerable. A beat. They lose consciousness. They lose awareness. They can be attacked without resistance. Another pause, then, and yet, he gestured toward Alex. They are the only species in this academy that uses that vulnerability. A slight shift in tone. As a weapon. Silence. They do not simply rest, the instructor continued. They process. They simulate. They prepare. The insectoid cadet spoke slowly, while unconscious. Yes? Another cadet added, without awareness. Yes. A longer pause. Without fear, someone whispered. That one lingered. The instructor nodded slightly. While you require control to function, he looked across the room. Humans improve without it. All eyes turned back to Alex. He was sitting now, head tilted slightly forward, eyes half closed. You are resting again? The insectoid cadet asked. Alex didn't open his eyes. Just a minute, he mumbled. After everything you just did? A small pause. Yeah. Another silence. What are you doing? Someone asked quietly. Alex's voice came softer this time. Same thing. A beat. Getting better. The room didn't react, not immediately. Because now, they understood what that meant. Not recovery, not rest, preparation. Even now. Even here. Even at his weakest. He was training. The instructor looked at the class one last time. Lesson recorded, he said. Then, after a brief pause, never assume a human is unprepared. A slight glance toward Alex. Just because their eyes are closed. The lights dimmed, and for the first time, no one in the room found the dark comforting.